Welcome back to another episode of Life and Pinstripes. I'm TJ Stolzenberg.
I'm James Yevon.
And this is episode number 29.
The god himself, Gio Urshela.
Beast. Gio.
Beast mode of the Bronx, Gio Urshela. Who would have thought?
We have to bring up the fact that we are a CMG podcast. Clovercrest Media Group. Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Hope y'all's listening and having a good time too.
Because we got a good episode in store for you today.
Yeah, we do. We're talking the Stankies.
Woo! Ayo, ayo, woo!
AL Ace champs. Beyond.
Start spreading the news.
Yeah.
How about that?
Gio Urshela, what a great episode. What a great episode number to have as this episode.
Because he's the huge, integral part of why we are the 2019 American League East champion New York Yankees.
Now, to my surprise, even as a Yankee fan, it has been 7 years since 2012.
Yes, last time
we were AL East champs.
Yes, last time I talked to you about that, you're like, wait, what?
Really?
How's that possible? Because the last 3 times we made the postseason, we were a wild card team.
Yeah. We were off the crumbs left over by the Red Sox, just
by the Red Sox and the other teams that won the division. But
who else won the division?
Let's see. 2013 was the Red Sox. 2014 was the Orioles. 2015 was the Blue Jays. 2016, 2017, and 2018 was the Red Sox.
Really? It was not the Red Sox every year?
Nope, not every year. Because they had that World Series hangover in 2014 where they were just like brutal.
I guess we did trail the Orioles once. Wouldn't believe it today, but
I know.
We're talking Yankees. So, originally last week we were going to talk about our playoff roster.
Yeah, I know. I was so excited to talk about it until I got left like a cliffhanger, like a Breaking Bad episode.
Yes, like James, like an excited young boy. We were talking, and I said, James, we're at the 30-minute mark. We have to stop.
And I'm like, oh my goodness.
But
here we are today.
Here we are. Let's talk about it. Yankees roster. Now, the roster goes down from 40, which is at right now, just because all the AA and AAA guys are coming up, trying to get some at-bats in.
You get to see what kind of skill sets they have, and possibly make a postseason roster. You
right?
Know.
It's a little audition in some ways. Now, also for most teams that are not making the playoffs, this is a time to get your farm system some work.
It's more like not like a rebuild, but more like, who we got? Who's the future? Who's the franchise?
Exactly. And so for teams that are narrowing in, and if you think about it, baseball is one of the sports where the fewest amount of teams actually make the postseason.
Exactly.
Think about this. There's 30 teams, and technically 8 make the playoffs.
Pretty much, yeah.
And after one game, there's really only 4 teams.
Yep. It becomes 8 to 4, then 2. They start off with they start off with 10, I think.
10.
Because of the 2.
I forgot the one game. There's 10, and after one game, there's 8.
Yeah.
But in other sports like basketball,
it's like you
got half the field making the. I think it's even more than half.
Here's the thing: is with the
16 teams making
it's like
playoffs.
Yeah, like roughly around there. The thing is that with the NBA, you could have a record of under 500 and still make the playoffs.
Yeah, and you get an 8 seed. Now, granted, the NBA doesn't have much parity. Not like an 8 seed's ever going to beat a 1 seed. Challenge accepted, NBA. But let's be honest. 16 teams.
Pretty much like half. Yeah, like you said, like that's about half the NBA.
That's why the NBA. I was about to say a swear word. That's why the NBA stinks and blows chunks all season long and then can still make the playoffs. They can poop, sweep it up, put it in a basket for the first 40 games, and then like, all right, now let's try. I don't like the fact that teams under 500 make the playoffs.
Nope, I will say this. I remember one time being a Nets fan, they were 37-44. They were the number 8 seed, and they still made the playoffs. I'm like, this team has no chance of being a number 1 seed. Although they took them to 6 games, I will say that.
That is pretty good.
But
I was just doing the math in my head real quick, and they had to be like 37-45
or something like 38-44, 37-45, whatever it counts up to 82.
Sorry, I had number little
Fine, 38-44. That's what I meant to say.
But baseball. The best are in the playoffs.
The best of the best.
So those teams narrow their roster down from 40 to 25.
Yep.
And wow, what a group of individuals to choose from this year for the Yankees.
Because it felt like everybody that came up made some kind of contribution.
Literally every player that came up did something great. And some did something spectacular. Of course, Gio Urshela.
Gio Urshela is one of those guys who literally Last year, the Toronto Blue Jays, I think they traded it to us for cash.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Cleveland Indians.
Was it? Oh, yeah.
But
anyway.
that was the first time I've ever said something right, and James didn't know. James. The heavy wears the crown. I know.
The apocalypse is
The
happening.
apocalypse is here. It's okay, bud.
Anyway.
I'm just going to be all ego-driven now today.
But anyway, Gio Urshela, DJ LeMahieu, Mike Talkman, guys like that stepped up when we had no Judge, no Stanton, no Severino, no Betances, no my buddy Andujar.
And Duhart isn't doing anything.
But anyway, the point is like this next man up mentality leads us to currently the second best record in baseball, has us as division champs and also World Series favorites.
Yeah. World Series favorites, you know what? Listen, the Astros, the big giants out there, I didn't mean the actual Giants. I'm calling the Astros gigantic.
Well, they kind of have the same color as the Giants.
Well, they do. I'm just
They are the American League Giants.
They are the American League Giants. Yeah, you understand what I'm going for there.
But I understand
There's happens to be a
exactly
team in the NL with the Giants name. But
anyway,
you know what I'm getting at here. They're big.
They're scary.
They're the ones to look out for.
They are the Monstars, like in Space Jam.
And a former ex-teammate of mine, TCV teammate, George Springer.
Still lining it up down there.
It was scary a couple weeks ago, and he really rattled his cage. He hit his head on the back of the wall. He made a diving catch, as he always does, makes spectacular outfield play all the time. But he's running back over his head. He jumps. It was one of those moments where you think the wall is closer than it appears.
Of course.
He reaches out, kind of expects it to be there, so he tenses up. But then he falls into air because there's nothing there. Then when his head whips back, then it hits.
Was that against the Brewers, I think?
Yeah.
What happened?
Ryan Braun hit the ball over his head. Made the catch, though. Just saying.
He made the catch, and he's still playing to this.
You can't represent.
He's still playing, so I guess he's all right.
He's back. What stunk was he was critically injured during a very critical week of fantasy baseball playoffs for me.
Oh, yes.
Now, it didn't really matter much because, I'll be honest, I forgot to set my lineup on Monday.
We're still talking about that?
I'm still talking about it. You want to know why?
Because
it's a 21-week season, and I freaking had the high score like 7 times, and I got money for that, but I freaking choked in the playoffs because I didn't change my lineup. I had Edwin Encarnacion in when he was hurt.
And you didn't know that?
Then guess what? I put him back in the next week. He hits like 2 home runs. I'm like, yay! Then he got hurt again.
Where's the cloud above your head? I think.
Where's the rain? Where's the rain?
When it rains, it pours.
I had to put in friggin' Brett Gardner. But guess what? The
He's
man
he's
went
fine.
on fire!
Dude, he has 26 home runs.
Just for me to finish a little too late. But nonetheless.
The little man that could. 26 home runs.
Brett Gardner. Egg-shaped head. God bless him. What's our roster for the playoffs, bud?
All right, so let's see. Catcher, we have El Gary when he comes back healthy, hopefully. Romine.
And Austinus Rominus.
Yes, Austin Romine. Let's see, infield. This is pending. If Edwin comes back, it's going to be Edwin and Void. But Edwin doesn't come back, it's going to be Void and Ford. And then you got to have DJ.
Duly noted.
You got to have DJ and Glaber. DD, obviously. The Geo himself. Tyler Wade. I have him on the roster.
I
love it. Come on.
I disagree.
Why do you disagree? Have you seen him play recently?
Yeah. Tyler Wade. Okay, I'll agree with you. He could be good postseason base runner, but that's it.
He's actually been okay with the bat recently, though.
Yeah, but he's batting like 220.
It's probably a lot higher now. Literally, what I saw today, first of all, was it a throwback? The catcher threw back to the pitcher, and he stole third. He stole third base.
Listen, great ball player all around. Listen, and he also kind of didn't get that much airtime this year. Normally, he gets a lot as coming up from AAA, but we had so many studs just crushing it. Listen, I'm going to say this. Put him on the roster just as a base runner, but I almost feel like we don't have the spot to give anymore.
He strikes me as the Dave Roberts of us, the guy that can steal bases.
Yes, I like that.
But that's why you need something like that, because we have these power-hungry hitters. You need at least someone that can at least steal bases.
Let's continue on. Give me the outfielders.
All right, Judge, Gardner, Stanton, Mabin.
And Wade. If anything, Wade's an outfielder for me.
Yeah, because could be a defensive replacement because you'd rather have Wade than Clint Frazier because he looks brutal in the outfield.
He looks
once again.
terrible in the outfield.
Did you see that little thing he did yesterday? He was like trying to catch a fly ball and then he's like, "Oh wait, I'm going the wrong way," and then he like drops it. I'm like, oh.
Granted, his bat is still sexy. His glove does stink.
He may hit.
Can we DH him like for friggin'?
I don't know. But anyways, so let's see. Starting pitcher, obviously you got Tanaka, you got Paxton, you got Sevy. I had one particular player, but we're gonna get to him a little bit later.
So here's where my question is, because this is why Wade, I feel like, loses a spot almost.
Why? Because you need more pitching.
We originally were gonna have Domingo German,
but
we'll get to that later.
Yeah. Also, we gotta show a little bit of love to.
I think Hap and CC now both have a little like split time in the start. I think we gotta go multiple starters.
Yeah.
Here.
The thing is, here's the thing. CC hasn't really pitched up to like 5 innings like recently. He's been pitching up to like 3 or 4, and then German backs him up.
We're gonna go with Chad Green as a starter too.
Oh,
this is the new change. Yeah, because listen, we were gonna go to German.
Oh, that brings up a good question. I think we should ask people. Do you think we could be successful with an opener in the playoffs?
That's a good question. You should let us know on our social media.
Yeah.
What is our social media?
Twitter at Live Pinstripes, Instagram Live and Pinstripes. We're streaming everywhere. That's eventually. We're in Spotify right now. We're on Google Podcasts. We're working our way to Apple.
Boom, baby!
We're getting that. Also, first of all, before we... wait, where were we?
Green. The bullpen.
Okay, Green. Batanzas up. Oh, wait. Not Batanzas. I take that... Oh, wait. I take that back. Oh.
Yay!
I totally forgot about that.
By the way, if you see these pages blowing around, it's a dramatic effect. It's my energy. No, I'm kidding.
Because you're just laughing. You're like, oh, you forgot about that. But anyway.
But it's a fan. I'm always sweaty.
But somehow Batanzas literally just did like a little tap and he ruptured his Achilles.
Literally faces 2 batters. Strikes out 2 batters. Ruptures Achilles.
WTF moment right there, nonetheless.
Waits all year to come back.
So that brings up to...
and no.
So, Ottavino, Canely, Burnett, and Chapman, obviously. So, we gotta fix this a little bit.
So, you know what? Maybe we do have a spot then for Wade.
Yep, that's pretty much... Or, unless you add another pitcher, depending on what's going on with our
might need a Nestor Cortez situation.
Either a Nestor Cortez or a Luis Cessa, or maybe a Jonathan Loaizaga. Speaking of pitchers, can we show a little bit of love to CC, by the way? He walked off the mound for the final time at Yankee Stadium, by the way.
CC, I can't believe it. Like, I think back to, like, the weird, crusty arcade game I played. It was the 1997 Indians, and CC Sabathia is like pitching, and it's like Jim Tomei and Manny Ramirez in his like early years.
The big guys, but CC
Sabathia has been pitching forever.
He's the definition of humble, the definition of a leader.
Yes, he is.
And you know how many times I mentioned it, I am a big fan of CC. This is a guy that you want on your team. Every team deserves a guy like CC.
Yes.
Think of it last year when I think he plunked that race catcher.
Yeah!
I'm like, in retaliation for Romine, that's what you need. Has he been great this season? He's been a little off, going trips to the IL, back and forth, but man, you gotta show love. I respect him.
Hey,
future Hall of Famer.
I will take 4 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, or 5 innings pitched, 2 or 3 earned runs, almost every time. The guy did his job. He adjusted. He used to throw 99, 98, 97 consistently with a sharp slider. The man has become an artist and had to adjust. He's throwing only 88 miles an hour for crying out loud.
That's what a good pitcher does. Notice that something's off. You change the repertoire, you tweak it.
As you grow and as you get older, certain limitations, you become, like you said, humble. You're understanding what you can and can't do anymore. So, CC, man, wish we could have clinched that night, but things were happening in a different way.
Yeah.
I heard there was a throwing error or something.
Yeah. What happened? Oh, yeah, the Ottavino throwing error where he literally just went like that. I'm like, what was that? It literally looked like he was like throwing a ping pong ball, but instead like went right over the catcher. I'm like, what is that? The thing that pissed me off is that was the way we lost the game, too. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
It was the way we lost the game where we're trying to get, that's the game we would have clinched the playoffs, too.
Exactly, yeah. It's okay. We didn't do it that night. We did it the next night.
And listen, the last 6-7 games here of the year, we can't just go to bed. Like,
no,
we need home field advantage.
You need to catch the Houston Astros. We need home field advantage.
How far back are we?
I think we're like a game and a half back in the loss column.
Oh no.
The thing is that the Astros, their schedule is they have the Angels, the Mariners, and then the Angels again. So they
Who do we have?
We have the Blue Jays, the Rays, and then the Texas Rangers.
All right. High pitch voice. All right. It's possible.
We did win today, which was awesome.
Yep.
We can win tomorrow. Hopefully Sevy will come back. Sevy, another great performance. Did you see that performance? His first performance?
I did not. Let's get a little airtime for that.
Oh yeah, he pitched 4 innings, allowed 2 hits, 2 walks, struck out 4. He was lights out. He was throwing gas. His slider was amazing. It's like,
I like to hear this. I didn't get to catch it, but I saw the end of the score. I was like, he didn't let any runs, so maybe he did good. I didn't know if they pulled him early though, but
it was on an early pitch count.
Let's keep it that way. Let's not have another.
So what they were going to do is during the broadcast they were talking about they were going to let him pitch 70 pitches that first outing. Tomorrow they may put him up to 85, and then his final start closer to 100.
All right,
which will make him ready.
Let's get this
for
baby.
October.
Let's get this.
I know. Woo! A lot of good Yankee talk. Except I got to change a couple of things because I didn't expect one pitcher to be placed on administrative leave.
Yeah, and as you said, we're pending on Edwin. We really need his bat in the playoffs. Man, we need his bat.
Yes.
I kind of hope he's back. But if not,
I think so too.
We'll have Voight and Ford. And, I still don't think that's going to be as sexy, but
it's
Encarnacion.
He's scary with the bat.
He is
and
scary.
with his little parrot.
Around
the bases.
Around those bases.
But anyway,
I love our Yankees, by the way.
I love our Yankees, except there's one guy that I did not like this week.
We'll talk about that in 10 more seconds.
I know.
I want to say one more positive thing before we get into some negative things.
Yes.
Because I love our Yankees, and speaking of the parrot on his shoulder, Edwin Encarnacion, I love the celebrations. So many home runs hit this year. So many things.
We're close to 300 home runs.
I love that.
I know.
All the players come into the dugout. They have all the little extra handshakes with everybody. And at the end, they give Cameron Maybin a hug. God, I love the chemistry. I love our energy. Keep it going, boys, into this playoffs.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Because now we're about to turn this conversation a little dark.
Like shockingly, by the way.
Shockingly. So, it's still connected to the Yankees. Domingo German.
Oh my goodness! Why?
Suspended by MLB indefinitely.
Allegedly slapping his girlfriend.
Now we found out more details about that. What was the exact story?
So according to Ken Rosenthal, and I saw this today, and I'm like saying to myself, oh no. His girlfriend was making fun of his big nostrils, and it gets better than that. She literally said to his face that the Astros were better than the Yankees. So, of course, if you're a pitcher for the Yankees, you're not going...
Careful.
You're not going to...
Yeah,
I know.
Don't speak. I just had to save you there, because I know you're going to say something.
I know.
That might get you in trouble.
We're
going to move forward.
Sorry.
But the funny thing is, yes, you don't say to a pitcher... Yeah, I can't... Hold on a second. He said nostrils. He does have big nostrils.
All right.
Daryl Strawberry.
I know.
Daryl Strawberry had
huge
nostrils.
Okay.
Anyways.
Why don't you say something before I... Because you know what it is the whole situation, the timing, the circumstances.
Tell them why you're mad.
The reason why I'm mad is because... It's the timing of this. Literally less than 2 weeks away from the postseason, and this guy is literally the piggyback. In case of a starter has a horrible performance, he's the guy that picks him up.
Yeah, he's not only that, he's been the 18-game winner for the Yanks.
Yeah, who would have thought?
So here's where my evidence supports the fact that I knew the Yankees knew something was up.
I'm going to put my head down for a second.
He had 18 wins. Then out of nowhere, about 2.5 weeks ago, he's not starting anymore. He's piggybacking.
Yeah.
And I'm curious. I'm like, why wouldn't they try to get a little 20-game winner action going here? I honestly thought something might have been up. I was like, he's randomly piggybacking CC. That's just a different change, or maybe they're changing. Then the story comes out that at Gary Sanchez's birthday party, this event happened where his girlfriend said the nostril thing and the Astro thing.
I'm sorry.
And, I thought something might have been happening. Maybe the timeline matches. Yankees know, oh God,
here we go.
Might trickle out into the news.
Yep.
So they
that,
recede him into the darkness, into the bullpen role, and he's no longer starting. Getting prepared for the postseason without him, perhaps.
Yep.
And that's gonna be my hot take. I think that was what happened, but
Yep.
nonetheless, good God,
I know this is
what the hell, man?
First of all, you should never ever put your hand on a lady, obviously.
Unless it's to touch her in the way she's never been touched before.
I don't think it was under that circumstances.
In the positive way, by the way.
Exactly.
Just saying, there's a certain way to touch a lady. And
Yes,
it's always
exactly.
with love. It's always with tender care, or it's a handshake because she's a strong businesswoman. However, I will say this: never use violence as an answer.
I don't tolerate this bull crap, honestly.
Now we're realizing a friggin' connection here with powerful athletes.
Yep.
Recently, Antonio Brown has been all over the news.
Here we go again with this dumbass.
Guess what? He got dropped and cut by the Patriots.
Of course. Congratulations, you played one game.
You were on the Steelers, you whined. You go to the Raiders,
You whined.
You go to the Patriots, you mess up, you're cut. What now?
I was about to say, what team wants to take his nonsense now?
The Dolphins might.
The Dolphins are the XFL, one of those.
That's awesome. But guess what? We're realizing a connection between very talented people and power. The addiction to power.
It's interesting that you mentioned that.
I just realized you never see any third stringers getting in the news for some violent act against their woman.
Nope, it's always the big names.
It's always the big names. Who are these big names?
Antonio Brown, Kareem Hunt, Tyreek Hill, Ray Rice, Ray Lewis, guys like that. You don't hear like Gardner, whatever that starting quarterback for the Jaguars was that threw on Thursday. I forgot what it was.
Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew. That's
And guess what? Side note, picked his beautiful behind up. First off, Kirk Cousins hasn't thrown for more than 100 yards this season, so he's my backup.
You had Kirk Cousins?
As my backup.
Good idea.
Because guess who my even more gross starter was? Mitch the, you know what, Trubisky.
Trubisky?
Yeah, dude, he stinks.
Really?
He's receded.
After 2 weeks?
He's rescinded.
You figure he'd be better.
You figure his trend last year was he was going to be better, but he stank. Listen, picked up Gardner Minshew because the reason...
Because he's got a killer mustache?
The mustache, number one. It makes him look like a 45-year-old biker, and I love it.
He looks like Uncle Rico a little bit from
He looks
Napoleon
like
Dynamite.
He looks like he wears a shirt that's too short and his belly button's always hanging out.
Hey, you know what? He's not ashamed of it.
Guess what? Love the guy. Picked him up only because he had a sexy wide receiver named Chark. Number 6 overall statistically, has caught 7 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown in both games. So I was like, screw it, I'm picking him up. Then I realized, man, I'm starting 3 Jacksonville Jaguars because my running back is Leonard Fournette.
Ooh.
I started Gardner Minshew, Leonard Fournette, and somebody Chalk. And by the way, I did it with 2 symbols because I feel like it's Demarius or something like that. But either way, people were like, dude, beware of the Titans, man. They got a good team this year, man. Their defense is good, man.
If they had such a good team, they could have beaten the Jaguars
Guess
on Thursday
what?
night. Not a chance.
I know the Tennessee Titans DNA through and through.
Oh, yeah?
The week they are playing a god-awful team, but their favorite 3 points are like, oh, that's a lock. I'm taking the Titans. They lose by 20.
Yeah,
then...
I think they lost... Yeah, they did lose somewhere.
They lost 27, I think.
Or 20-3, 27. Somewhere around
20
there. The point is that they lost.
They stunk against the team I needed them to. It's as if I saw the future here. People were making fun of me for starting 3 Jaguars, but guess what? Then the same person that made fun of me texted me saying, guess it's working out for you. Literally, first or second drive of the game, Gardner Minshew passing touchdown to Chark. And Leonard Fournette didn't have a bad game either. Between the 3 players, I had 50 fantasy points, 51 fantasy points in a PPR league, but not the best, but it's pretty solid. You'll take a 20-20-10 by 3 players or 15-15-20. So, nonetheless, that's enough Jaguars talk.
Talk about digressing to a whole new level.
Yes. We talked about something pretty awesome. We love the Yankees.
Yeah.
We talked about something pretty bad.
Pretty bad that just made me very upset.
So we're going to end it on a very positive note. And a few weeks back, I mentioned, hey, what are some crazy athlete names out there? So
we've been waiting to talk about this for a very long time.
Yeah. So guess what? We want you out there to post on our media. What is our media?
Again?
Yeah. This is why,
All right, I'm going to write it on your forehead like one day. Okay.
Do it.
So, once again, Twitter, @Life Pinstripes, Instagram, Life and Pinstripes, Facebook page, Life and Pinstripes. We are on YouTube. We are on Spotify. Eventually, we're going to be on Apple Podcasts. We're going to be on Google Podcasts. We're going to be on... I know. Everywhere. But anyway, the point is that
you're going to send us
the funniest name.
Top 5, or at least top 3, or maybe just one. Funniest football name in history. Why don't you start off with one?
All right. I was laughing through these. I'm going to start off with the former MLB outfielder during the 70s and 80s. His name was Rusty Coops.
That's a good one. That's a classic.
All right, and
Rusty.
obviously, you may know, we both obviously know this name. He plays safety for the Chicago Bears. Clinton Dix.
Wow. Former Alabama, former Green Bay Packer.
Now Chicago Bear.
Clinton Dix.
All right.
That's a good one.
This one I told you about like a couple of weeks ago. His name is Richard Lovelady, but if Richard short is Dick Lovelady. So he's a pitcher for the Royals. I remember one game where he pitched against the Yankees. His name is Dick Lovelady. I'm like, wait, what? What's his name again?
Dick does Lovelady. So moving on.
And here comes another Dick Paradise, who is a former hockey player. And this is a name where I'm gonna bleep it out. His name is Angelico. Yeah.
Make sure you bleep those two out, too.
I'm going to bleep those out because I wasn't expecting you to say that.
I was making sure you got it right.
I did, yes. And an honorable... I can't wait for this honorable mention. Farage Fartass.
Farage Fartass plays rugby.
Yes.
That's a pretty good one. So my 5 are more in like this interesting category, but mine are number 5, New York Jets, DeBrickashaw Ferguson. DeBrickashaw.
That sounds
Who has a kid and says, I see DeBrickashaw?
That sounds like... Have you ever seen Key and Peele when they do the college football name?
They do the East and West.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
It's like Nathaniel Snurpus. Actually, that's not one of the names, but I just watched it the other day and can't even remember any of the funny names because they're so funny.
Yeah.
Coco Crisp.
I love that man.
Former Indian, former A. Now, here's a funny one.
Former Red Sox,
yes. The Milwaukee Bucks. OJ Mayo.
Yep, I remember him.
I didn't think it was that funny, and then I thought about it. It's like orange juice and mayonnaise.
You think of that combo,
Nasty.
that just makes you want to go.
Blah. Oakland A's. Boof Bonzer.
Boof Bonzer. Boof. Once you boof out of the way. No drama-free zone.
Drama-free. Boof. And, of course, NFL legend with the Bears, Dick Butkus. Come on. Come on!
First of all, do you think their parents even thought about it? Just be like, if we shorten his name, it's going to be like this.
Well, they grew up with Butkus, but it was, of course, they're like, no, it's Butkus. It's Norwegian.
Sounds like Butkus.
Let's name our kid Richard. Dick. Just saying. Some runners-up for me were Captain Munnerlyn for the Minnesota Vikings. Captain Munnerlyn. Captain!
Wow, you never thought that you used that as a first name.
I'm going to name my kid Brigadier General.
Brigadier General Stolzenberg.
Seattle Mariners, Charlie Furbush. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Furbush. The OKC Thunder.
This is the immature episode, by the way.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
Royal Ivy. That's kind of like a sexy name.
Royal Ivy. Wow.
Yeah. And NASCAR's Dick Trickle. You can't forget that. And I can't forget another TJ in the world.
Yeah.
TJ Hushmanzada. God, I love that. Hey, you send us some funny names out there.
Yeah, because there are plenty more of that.
Yes.
Which is just too much for 5. I swear this notebook.
Throw the notebook. Throw it.
We're good.
Violence. That's the only good kind. There is no good kind.
No, there's no such thing as violence. Stay away from it.
There is violence, but there's such a thing as good violence. Maybe necessary, but not good. That's the episode!
After the whole thing with Domingo German, you decided...
No.
Okay,
wow. I meant war and...
Okay, that's
like, sometimes there's necessary things. This has got awkward at the end. But no, maybe we'll talk about that next week.
Yes.
Is any violence necessary? Because honestly, I don't think we can all sit around in a circle and go kumbaya and hold each other's hands. Because there's always going to be good people, and there's also going to be bad people. Sometimes bad people need to go.
Yep, quick PSA. Don't be like Domingo German.
Yeah.
That's the PSA.
PSA, don't hit your woman or partner. Don't hit your man. Doesn't matter. Just don't hit. Try to use words. It might be harder, and it might be more difficult, but guess what? It gives you a bigger reward.
Of course.
And on that note, we already said our social media a bunch of times.
Yep, I'm James Evan.
I'm TJ Stolzenberg.
And never forget to
Rock and or roll, baby. Dude, that was a great one.
That was
a
good.
great one.
That was good.
Yeah!
I know.
Even more love.
That was good.
Good flow. Because we started exactly like 50 seconds after, so it went to the exact. It might be exactly 30.
Yeah, pretty
to be
much.
honest.
All right.
But
6:41.
clicking record. Unrecord.